Shalawama, 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 I'm back. I am back. And really glad to be back, y'all. Shalawama and Islam to all the Moors. Welcome to the free astrotheology course. I'm excited about our next textbook. I still haven't decided between the two, well, between the many. I may ask for some feedback, but since y'all don't usually give feedback, I might not. It's a waste of a waste of time. But anyway, I'm putting the information out there, and that's really all that matters. Okay, so I'm Dr. Yasafa from Zion Law School. Welcome to the free astrotheology course. This is our textbook, The Gospel and the Zodiac, the secret truth about JC, the Christ figure. Okay, so these secret truths, the author is Bill Darrell-El. So these secret truths in this book have to do with astrology, right? As evident. Brandon. Hey, I agree 100% with you. So I just got a message. Right. So these secret truths in this book are not the only secrets. These are the secret truths directly related to astrology, specifically the Zodiac. All right. So now when you talk about the Zodiac, of course, the other planets are involved, right? So it's astrology, astronomy, anciently. All right. So I have been speaking about in my presentations the other secret truths that are not mentioned in this video. For example, the Hermetic laws. These, the Christ is also involved in that. Now remember, I'm not talking about a religious Christ, not a historical biographical figure. I'm talking about the Christ as the Christ is in nature, all right, which is the sun, the orb in the sky, which is honorable behavior, which is the positive pole of all things. Okay, the positive pole of all things. The negative pole would be the negative expression of all things. So we're talking honor and dishonor, lawful and unlawful. Everybody see it? Things that, anything that is the same, if it's the same, it has the same nature. If it has the same nature, it has, or it is the operation of polarity, the law of polarity. Everybody see that? Well, since there's polarity, that means they're opposite, extreme opposite ends of the same line. And then all of the Hermetic principles, you can operate, and you can actually manipulate, not in a negative way, but you can, of course, in a negative way, but you can use them however you want. So there are many other secrets. For example, the mind sciences. The mind sciences. Okay, so when we, a lot of you may have heard that there are many levels to understanding scripture. The most basic level, which is the level of religious dogma, is the story that's written on the page, or if it's not written on the page, the story that's taught to you as a doctrine. Then there's the literal story, which is underneath the English or the Spanish, whatever language you might be looking in. There's the literal story. Then there, of course, is the Zodiac, or astrology / astronomy. There's nature. And then there's consciousness, which is the mind sciences. All right, which is mindfulness, Brandon, you're killing me. All right, so then there's the story about the mind sciences, which would be expressed as, and a lot of y'all religious people will find this offensive, which would be expressed as healing through vibration that the ancient Kemetic peoples, our ancestors, practice. Through energy or energetic healing. It doesn't have to be healing. It could be energetically changing something from one condition to another, even emotions. If you don't like that, well, you need to stop trying to practice manifestation, because manifestation operates along the, or is governed by the same natural laws. Okay, so don't use one and think that's okay, and then to use it for a way that's beneficial for your health to say that that's not okay. What's the difference between you and let's say some organization who will remove a video or censor you just because you talk about topics that have to do with good health, naturally maintaining or restoring good health? What's the difference between that? No difference, right? So anyway, I talked about my friend who practiced Reiki. He was a stone cold scientist. Wasn't a religious bone in his body. My buddy from college, Doug Robertson. Who healed his mom using Reiki. All right, so these are expressions of consciousness, of consciousness, and they can be reduced back down to their most common denominator, which is natural law, or the underlining principles that govern nature. And these are the 7 Hermetic laws, or the 7 Hermetic principles, right? Everybody see that? So there are many other secret truths, and I'll be talking about them. I'll continue to talk about them in this video, but in the next book I may talk more about the mind sciences. And I haven't done this in years past because I didn't want to confuse people. But it is what it is, and I don't see a need. I don't see a reason for me not to talk about these things anymore. Okay? So I'm going to express myself. If you like it, continue learning with me, support my work. If you don't like it, bye-bye. Okay? See you again, as they say in Vietnam. Bye-bye. See you again. All right, y'all, so let's get into it. Now, remember, I want to write the Book of the Law in Ancient Ibaryath and Modern English and give all of you scholars the etymological meanings of all of the words and show you their correlation, show you the correlations and integrations into multiple sciences, fields of study, including law, including their expression in the Constitution for the United States of North America and the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1836, between the Moroccan Empire and the United States for North America. Also the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Association, etc. All of those documents. Also to show you how these things have been expressed through public policy in North America. I can only talk about North America and those things that relate to the Catholic Church, because that's what I know. All right, that's what I know. But the principles are universal. They're universal, and I'm so happy because I got I got a copy of the first edition of Black's Law Dictionary, and I got I was able to find and get a copy of one of the dictionaries that the author used to create Black's Law Dictionary. So my goal is to get each of those dictionaries that he used to compose Black's Law Dictionary. And let me put this out here. Everybody should make a study of feudal law. Let me repeat it again. Everyone should make a study of feudal law. All right? And why am I saying that? Well, because as I was reading through Black's Law Dictionary and some key words in Black's and in this other dictionary that I found, there were so many references to feudal law. And then I came across a word that had in its definition, I think it was fief. It was one of the words, one of the roots of feudal. And in that dictionary, this dictionary was published around 1891, if I'm correct, maybe earlier. I need to go check it. But in that dictionary, it said it actually said in the definition of the word that readers need to study feudal law in order to understand the current statutes in American law that are based on feudalism. So common sense tells you that especially during this time, we need to study feudal law, okay? But that's probably obvious to most people. So that's one of the things I plan on doing. If y'all want to join me in that, y'all do so. And I'll also add whatever I learned from that study. I'll add it into my presentations because all of this stuff is connected, y'all. All of the law and astrology, all of this is connected. There are even books that talk on the topic of prognostic astrology and predictive astrology. So for sure, the corporations are using those sciences. All right, for sure. So I'll get into that as we go. All right. I may do a whole book on it, or I may just include it. I haven't decided. So am I an expert astrologist? Absolutely not. Not by any means. Okay, I'm learning. All right. So let me say this too. I'm very close, very close to making a decision to teach a free astrology class using an ancient book and or a famous book. But I'll let y'all know, okay? But I'm not a master astrologist at all. But I recently decided to start learning, but I'm going to learn from the ancient sources first. I'm not interested in the modern astrology. I guess y'all should, if you've been following my work with the astrotheology, you should understand why I'm not interested in learning modern astrology, other than to be able to deconstruct it or to pair it up with ancient astrology, to compare and contrast the differences, to see what my analysis will yield me in terms of how to reclaim and restore our birthright. That's all I'm interested in. All right. Okay. So that's what's been happening with me, y'all. So if you want to learn the ancient astrology that our ancestors practiced, at least that's preserved in writing, then y'all stick with me, y'all hang with me. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on YouTube. I might do it on YouTube. I might do one on YouTube. I might do one on Patreon or another platform. I'm tired of YouTube. And I'm tired of a lot of y'all too. I'm tired. That's what my what's it? That's a reflection from the past, y'all. Don't take it personally. Okay, so let's get to it, y'all. We're on Capricorn page 22. Teaching on authority. So we, page 22, Capricorn, according to the author, chapter 11, Mark chapter 11, verse 27 through chapter 12, verse 44, is Capricornian. This is the Capricorn section of Mark, according to the author, Bill Darrell-El. The reason why the author identifies these verses as Capricornian is because of the teaching on authority. We got into that. We just barely touched it yesterday. But I'll speak it more clearly in this video. And then encounters with authority figures. So some of y'all might be thinking, okay, these are going to involve JC and the Pharisees and the Sadducees or the Sanhedrin, right? That's what you should have in your mind. Or Pontius Pilate, or Herod. Those were the authorities at that time. So zodiacal keywords are responsibility, management. So how are we to think about what we're reading here? Capricorn. Then there's a column on zodiacal keywords. So responsibility has to be related to Capricorn, right? Management should be related to Capricorn. Authority should be related to Capricorn. The father, coldness, and pretense. All of these are related to Capricorn. Everybody see that? That's why they are keywords. So we're going to look for these either keywords or concepts in these verses. Everybody see? Okay, that's our analysis. That's how we're going to proceed. That's what the author did, I would assume. And so we're going to do that now. Capricorn. All right. So page 182, we're going to start. The subheading here is the spiritual lessons of... Wait. Hold on. I need to go back. All right. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't want to skip anything. I want to give you a solid education. So give me one moment. There was a point that I just remembered. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. So on page 180, the author makes mention in the second paragraph down. It says, order and stability are essential to the proper management of any aspect of our lives. So order and stability. Okay, so we see one of the key words, or at least a reference: responsibility and management, authority. So we're touching on those concepts right now. Order and stability are essential to the proper management. Okay, so we saw management, right? Management was one of the zodiacal key words. But now, this has not got into the verses yet. This is still dealing with Capricorn itself. Now remember from video number 32 and perhaps number 33 and 32, we talked about the father. Remember, the father is the first authority figure in the family. Y'all remember how we went through that? The father is responsible for passing along the instructions. The instructions etymologically is law. So the law of the family. Okay, let me not say family. The law of our kin folks. Y'all know family, the word family is used statutorily. It designates you as a servant. If my memory serves me correctly, you identify yourself as a servant by using the word family. So let me correct myself. Don't use that word. Kinfolk. Kinfolk. Okay? Kinfolk. All right? So your masculine father, hopefully he has a strong masculine energy. Okay? Will pass to his heirs, which is the next generation, the instructions that he received from his mother and father. Okay? All the way to the beginning. Why is it important? Because that's the transfer of knowledge and the transfer of law. That's where you learn your jurisdiction, your law language. Clear? You get it from your father. That's why the father, not only the father, but the father, if you look at scripture, is the primary one responsible for passing the law on to his heirs. Clear? The father in scripture is the steward of the trust. But y'all can take that how you want it. Okay, T Garnett 101, clear. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So this should shed light as to why they taught us and push aggressively connotative linguistics. Y'all see that? They're having us say things that put us in maritime admiralty, canon, Christian law jurisdiction, the world of the dead, the land under the water. Y'all see that? Like your mortgage is under the water? This is the place where the Nephilim, their offspring, the Raphaim, go when they expire in their physical body. Now, I used to wonder, why would that happen that way? Is that a punishment? And then it dawned on me, probably not a punishment. I mean, they didn't have anything to do with them coming on the earth plane, right? It wasn't their choice. They are here because of what their fathers did, right? And what their mothers did. So I thought, now I'm just sharing my thoughts, okay? I'm not pushing a doctrine or trying to tell y'all what to think or do. But I want you to think, what if, just like a caterpillar, the caterpillar comes into the earth plane, right? comes into the earth plane. It looks like a worm or something like that, right? And then it goes into a cocoon of sorts. It appears to be dead, right? But then when it comes out, it's a butterfly, completely metamorphosized into something else. So what if that's what happens with the giants? Well, let me just say Nephilim and Raphaim. What if when they expire in their physical body, they go through a metamorphosis, which is where you get the Oannes, the Dogon, the half man, half fish. Y'all see what I mean? Y'all see what I'm saying? All right, excellent. Thanks for that feedback, T. Garnett 101. So, anyway, let's just deal with it. Let's just deal with it. So the Father is responsible for passing the law. We are responsible for speaking natural law jurisdiction if you're a autochthonous Moor, meaning that you're sprung from the soil, no separation of nations. I'm not talking about the various land grants or whatever. I'm talking about Moors, natural men and women sprung from the soil. Make no division. Okay? So we're responsible for knowing the language of law, the language of nature. That's our responsibility. And doing it. And doing it. Let me say it again. And doing it. The essence of the Most High's commandments is to do no harm. That's love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. When you look at love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you find that they are operative on the plane of polarity, the law of polarity. Is that clear? So if there's truth at the positive pole, Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. If there's truth at the positive pole, truth is honor, truth is enlightenment. That's the S-U-N, sun, the orb in the sky that gives its heat to support life on planet Earth. The S-U-N, sun, is also etymologically the S-O-N, sun, the masculine heir of a Moorish man and woman. The S-O-N, sun, is etymologically the S-U-N, sun. Go check it in, I think it's Dutch and German. You'll find that etymology. Okay? Truth is also honor. Truth is honor. Since everything in the universe is always in motion, the law of vibration, there is the possibility of movement up and down this plane. So here's truth. So the opposite of truth would be what? False. True, false. You don't believe me? Go take a test and get an answer wrong. True, false. False would be darkness and everything that happens in the darkness. If it's dark, there's no sun. If there's no sun, it's cold. If it's cold and dark, predator animals will certainly be there looking for something to eat at night. All right? Summer solstice, June 21, 22. Winter solstice, December 21, 22. Y'all see the point? Take the D off of dark, prefix it to evil, you get devil. Opposite ends of the same line. We have the same nature. Truth and falsehood are the same nature. Opposite ends of the same line, you get opposites or Satan. Satan, the opposer of Christ. Satan, the opposer of Christ. So if Christ is God, then God is the devil. Same nature. Differs only in degree. Y'all see that? Clear? Clear, scholars? Differs only in degree. Using the technique. I just forgot the name of the technique. I say it all the time. Transmutation. Using the technique, or we can even call it a lesser law. Using the lesser law, lesser than the seven. Using the lesser law of transmutation, we can rhythmically move up or down anywhere along this line, this plane, using the law, the lesser law or technique of transmutation. And we can stop. So for example, if we are in honor, meaning we are following the Most High's commandments, meaning we're living the principles of our ancestors, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And we're doing that as a habit, as a way of life. That means that we are polarized, rhythmically polarized in honor. Or we are rhythmically polarized, or you can, if you're comfortable, you can just say polarized. We're polarized in honor, or we are polarized in higher self behavior. We are the Christ. In the Bible, what does it say in the book of the law? In the book of the law, it says that when we return to the Most High will then circumcise our hearts. He'll circumcise our hearts so that we don't even have to think about following his instructions. Well, circumcising of the heart is equivalent to cosmic habit force. Circumcising of the heart is the equivalent to cosmic habit force. See, these things are in our mind and we do them habitually. Habitually. Everybody see that? I mean, you can even extend it or extrapolate it out to the 100th monkey principle or the 99th monkey principle, where a small percentage of a population adapts a behavior and thinking. They overcome a fear, adapt a behavior, etc. And then when it reaches a climactic point meaning a percentage of that population adopt that behavior. And adopting a behavior could mean stopping something, like stop worshiping these external deities. So it doesn't have to be you're adding something new. It could be you come in harmony with nature. You follow the Most High's commands and stop worshiping these external deities, which is what got us in the problem in the first place. So you reach that critical climactic point where the entire population starts to express or do that behavior like that, and it happens overnight. Everybody see that? But you who are, those of you who are, hold on y'all, those of us who are polarized in honor, polarized as the Christ, so you can also what? You can also fall. You can also fall. The same way you rose will be the same way you fall. Or the extent to which you rose as the Christ, that same amount of energy, that same distance up, you will fall down. If you stop following the Most High's instructions, if you stop living according to the principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So this is how the Hermetic laws work, and also how they undergird what y'all call in religion the Mosaic covenant, or the Most High's commandments. No magic, no devils and demons involved in this. It is just natural phenomena, natural law. Everybody see it? So this, these same concepts. Oh, one more concept. The concept of neutralization. The way to neutralize the negative effects of the law. Hold on, y'all. I'm losing my thought for some reason. Okay, y'all know the law that where for the distance and the energy that the pendulum swings in one direction, that same distance and energy will be applied in the next direction. And for some reason, the name of that law escapes me, but it'll come to me. But anyway, this law works at the subconscious level. All right? It's working at the subconscious level. If it's working at the subconscious level, scholars, what does that tell you? What does it tell you if it's working at the subconscious level? That means it's effecting or activating the law of mental gender. Okay, so scholars, what specifically is it activating? Masculine mental energy or feminine mental energy? If you answered feminine mental energy, you are correct, because it is the feminine mental energy that does the creation in collaboration with, meaning masculine mental energy is required in collaboration with masculine mental energy. Everybody see that? So, this is a true or false question. If someone has, they could be masculine or feminine. If they have a weak masculine, first of all, true or false? Every man and woman, every hybrid, everything tangible and intangible that exists in this universe, actually in all universes, have both masculine and feminine mental energy. True or false? True or false? Put a 1 in the comment section if that's true. Put a 3 if it's false. If you answered true, then you are correct. Everything, seen and unseen, is composed of masculine and feminine mental energy. Okay, so it is the collaboration of masculine and feminine energy that activates feminine energy to create. Okay, masculine energy involves will, or will is a component part of masculine energy. That's right, your will, your willpower is a component of masculine mental energy. All right? So your masculine is the I am. It never changes. So that is the essence of who you are, if you understood what I just said. Masculine energy is not in your physical body. Y'all bear with me. Let me go through this, okay? I've covered this in other videos. Many of y'all may have been here for this discussion. But because there's so many videos, there are a lot of people who may not have the time or the discipline to go through all of these lessons. So let's just quickly review it. So be patient. So your masculine energy, that's your I am, your be. Be is exist. I be, I exist, I am. You've heard that in scripture, have you not? Exodus chapter 3, right? I am. Now, in the Ancient Ibaryath, you can attach any prefix or suffix to that, and you can change the person, like I am, he, right? First, second, third person. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to you? You can get more about this in the 101 Ancient Phoenician Hebrew book that I wrote. It's a brown book. It'll take you through the Tetragrammaton, the grammar associated with the Tetragrammaton in Ancient Ibaryath. All right, that book goes through the Ten Commandments etymologically. It's a presentation of the Ten Commandments etymologically. Literally, no doctrine. But I go through that for those of you all who are interested. Someone sent me a message and an email asking me about the Tetragrammaton. I didn't, at that time, I didn't remember about the 101 Phoenician Hebrew, Ancient Phoenician Hebrew book that I wrote. But it's a brown book, so go to zionlawschool.org. If you're watching this video, you can buy that book and you'll get answers to your question regarding the Tetragrammaton. I also invited you to the class, but I didn't see you. So y'all don't send me emails or ask me questions if you're not. I'm not saying this is the case with you, the person who sent me the email. I'm speaking in general. You can send me a question or something like that only if you are serious enough to take action. If it's just something that just came to your mind, don't email me about it. I don't have time for that. I only want to deal with people who are ready to take action now. Okay? So that your I am, I be, I exist. You'll note those definitions in the Tetragrammaton. The Father, right? Very interesting, right? The four words, the four letters or the four pictographs does not change. But the feminine energy, which is housed in your body, changes, is always becoming, always collaborating with your masculine energy or somebody else's masculine energy who's stronger than yours and overtakes your masculine energy. Okay? So the law of, why is that? This law, where the pendulum is swinging, your moods change from day to day, from minute to minute. Some of y'all women, right? Your conditions change. Okay? Today you're loaded. Tomorrow you ain't got nothing. Pendulum swings. Why is that not coming to my mind? But anyway, don't worry about it. That's happening subconsciously, okay? Now, if you want to use modern psychology, you can relate masculine energy to the conscious mind where there's willpower. Feminine energy to the subconscious mind. Okay, this is why all of the, let's say, yogis and people who do meditation, these days, neurologists, hypnotherapists, they always tell you to get into a meditative state. Why? Because that's when you have access to your subconscious mind, and you can slide thoughts, ideas, past your conscious mind, which acts as a barrier. The conscious mind protects your belief systems, right? It makes sure that everything around you happens according to what you believe. Okay, so when you get in a meditative state, you put the conscious mind to sleep. You neutralize it. It's no longer blocking. That thought or idea goes directly to feminine energy or the subconscious mind. Everybody see that? And then the subconscious mind will take it and create. This is what manifesting is. That The Secret made so popular. That's where self-healing comes from. Okay? But this is also where remote healing comes from. Yeah, that's right. This is where remote healing comes from. It's coming from the masculine. Excuse me. It's coming from the masculine energy of the practitioner or the operator, whatever you want to call it. Or you want to heal your mother or your heir or your kinfolk. And you apply these laws, the Hermetic principles, or the mind sciences that I talked about that are embedded, hidden in Scripture. Specifically, those scriptures dealing with the Christ in the New Testament. Y'all see that? The mind sciences are coming out of the Hermetic laws. So you can actually use masculine mental gender energy to heal someone remotely. And this is presented all throughout the New Testament, also the Old Testament. Okay, but it's hidden. It's hidden. This is not for those on the outside of the house. It's not for you. And it's not for me. According to the historical JC, the Christ figure. Not the natural Christ. Y'all see that? See, one is truth and one is false. According to nature, you can heal yourself and you can heal other people. According to nature. And our ancestors understood this. This is why you were giving connotative linguistics. This is why you're given religious doctrine. So that you wouldn't be able to heal yourself, you need to go to who? You need to go to your religion. Your priest, pastor, imam, rabbi, reverend, whatever you want to call it, whatever title they have. These days, your grand sheikh or sheikhess. You need to go to them. And then they intercede or represent you because you're dead, civilly dead, spiritually dead, in terms of your religion, right? You're in religion, you're dead. And then they go represent you to the deity. And then, of course, that ain't free, right? You got, if you ain't been given a tenth, if you haven't been paying that Roman tax, that tithe, they ain't gonna do it for you. So everybody sees how this works. So this is why they give you dogma. Because with religious dogma, you need them. You can't do anything for yourself. You're in the curses. You're in the punishments. Nature has implemented a corrective mechanism, which are punishments. That old pain and pleasure thing. Pain, pleasure on the positive end, pole. Pain on the negative end. Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. Blessings and curses. You follow the Most High's commandments, His instructions, which means you live according to the principles of your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Exodus chapter 20, verse 12, honor your mothers and your fathers so that it may go well with you in the land that the Most High, your power, is giving you. That's a trust. That's an estate. You're the rightful heir. But if you don't live according to the law, in other words, if you're living outside of nature, worshiping external deities, being dishonorable, all of that, most important of all, the worst thing you can do is worship external deities. Well, guess what? Now you go from the blessings and you fall into the curses. And all of that material wealth, the nobility, the happiness, the joy, the contentment gets reversed on you. That same amount of energy goes to the negative. Now instead of life, you have death. Now instead of good health, you have chronic illnesses such as asthma, cardiovascular disease, obesity, birth defects. Instead of peace, instead of shalawama, you have terror. And you get terrorized. Blessings and curses. All as a consequence of not following nature's law. Is that clear, everybody? See how all of this is connected? So the book of the law is not religion. It is not religion. It's been remixed into religion. Why? Because now, due to your dishonor, meaning due to your worshiping these other deities primarily, disrespecting the ancient foremothers and forefathers, Exodus chapter 20, verse 12, and doing the opposite, speaking the opposite of love, truth, freedom, and justice. See, a lot of y'all talking lies. And instead of freedom, most of y'all don't want to be free. You're holding on to the principles of bondage. You refuse to cooperate due to your conditioning, but you don't have the willpower to overcome the masculine energy that makes you an African American, Negro, Latino, black, colored, Dominican, and all of that other stuff, bywords, curses. All right? But this same mechanism, the same natural phenomena, use of law that put you into the curses can take you out. See, in logic, we say the fastest and direct and most direct way out of a problem is the same way you got in. Dugata Jamison, hello. Islam, Dugata Jamison, Islam and Shalawama. Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we are in the power position, scholars, We look like we have been defeated, but we're in the power position. We don't need everybody to change their thinking, their behavior. Dugata Jamison says, I believe in God, but I don't have a religion. Okay, well you're on the right path. When you come to realize that God, this God, is many different many different characters. Some people say that God is Thoth. Thoth is Odin. Odin is Woden, right? And then the modern spelling of Odin Woden is capital God. That's one level. But God is also Dios, or Dios, who is Zeus. Who is Zeus. Y'all know that Dr. Seuss, what is Dr. Seuss when you spell that backwards, y'all? Dr. Seuss, spell it backwards. What word do you get? And then think about the content of some of his books regarding us, Moors. Okay, so Dios, Zeus, Ayut. How do you pronounce JC's name with Iesous or something like that? That's JC without the J in Greek. Zeus RD. What does RD mean? So you can correlate that with the Suez Canal. Zeus, the Suez, spell that backwards, the Suez Canal. And then there's more about capital God. Capital God is the dog deity in ancient Egypt. Not the dog, but what is it? Y'all know, what is it? What is his name? Is it Anubis? Is that Anubis? Okay. Now, of course, our ancestors were not worshiping animals. That's not the point. The point is, you're looking to something or someone outside of yourself to do for you what you were given the capacity to do on your own. And it is the highest form of disrespect for you not to use that. Recognize it and use it. It is the highest form of disrespect. For example, let's say you give your Dagata Jamison, off topic, but I just had a dream of a lady going to bring me to heaven or hell. I don't know anything about dream interpretation, so I really can't comment on that. But I can tell you this: heaven and hell is right here on earth, depending on whether you are honoring your ancient foremothers and forefathers by living your life according to their ancient principles, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which is expressed in the Ten Commandments at Exodus chapter 20, verse 12. Honor. That means follow the instructions. The instructions are law. Honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers so that it may go well with you in the land that that the Most High is giving you. In which case, you're in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14, which are the blessings. See, that's your heaven. That's extreme material wealth. That's being the captain of industry. That means you're the mover and shaker. That means all of the benefits and privileges, all of the rights that that are due you as the rightful heir to all land, all contracts and commerce, all resources, human resources, etc., human, mineral, no matter what level of kingdom, human, animal, mineral, whatever, all energy, terrestrial, aquatic, and cosmic. They are yours to benefit you. That's heaven. But hell is Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 through 16, where you are denationalized. You are a bondman or a bondwoman. You're the debtor. In heaven, you're the creditor. In heaven, you're in the inside of the house. In the curses, you're the debtor, you're the slave. You carry the bag, you carry the debt. You are held surety for someone else's, in our case, the hybrid's debt. You're dominated by the corporations who seek to limit, shorten your lifespan, keep you from knowing who you are, weaken your masculine energy. Weaken your masculine energy. Let me repeat that. Weaken your masculine energy. Why? So that they can co-opt your masculine energy, co-opt it, and have their masculine energy collaborate with your feminine energy to create the you that they want you to be, the nigga, the Negro, the hip-hop artist, the hip-hop listener, the person who's in hip-hop culture in a negative way. All that negativity, that's hell. Okay, don't pay your mortgage. See if you don't, see what happens to you. You're going to get escheated and a turn. All right? Drive down a car, drive down a road in a place where they don't want Moors. See if you don't get hit with bills of attainder that will end up, very likely, in you getting a beat down, exterminated on the street, or locked up. These are curses. All of these bills of attainder are curses. That's hell. The Gatha. So you should think very carefully about that dream. Make a decision. Do you want to return to the Most High by following His commandments, His instructions, by living in harmony with the principles of our ancient foremothers and forefathers, love, truth, freedom, and justice, so that it may go well with you in the land that the Most High has given? That has to do with the estate, y'all. In other words, so that you can keep your estate. That's what that's saying. If you want to keep your estate, you better follow natural law, which are the principles that our ancient foremothers and forefathers. How do we know it? Well, because our fathers, our family, our nation was supposed to pass it on to us through their words and through their actions. Through what? Jurisdiction, law, language, honorable behavior. Okay, but now we have some Moors and those who might be assisting Moors behind the scenes, I don't know, who are bringing this jurisdiction back so that we can learn. All right? So I hope I didn't go too far with that Dagatha. But that's where we are. That's where we are. You need to make a decision, a firm decision, on whether or not you want to live according to those principles, be harmonic with nature, honor your ancient foremothers and forefathers, Why? So that people can like you? No. So that some deity can like you and be happy with you? Absolutely not. No. But as it says in Deuteronomy 30, and this might rub a lot of y'all the wrong way, but if you're honest with yourself, each and every last one of y'all know you like having nice things, unless you have a distorted self-image of yourself. You think you only deserve bad or good things aren't for you. But a normal person, normal man or woman with a healthy self-image, they want comfort, they want luxury. Even though your religion has taught you that that's wrong, and that you should be humble. Let me tell you, that's inconsistent with nature. That's why you have so many problems. You are full of conflicted beliefs about yourself. You want luxury. You want to relax. You want to chill. You don't want to go to work every day. Right? You want to live it up. Well, guess what you're saying? You're saying that you want to be in the covenant of grace, which is what you are supposed to want. If you're an autochthonous Moor, excuse me, if you are an autochthonous Moor, it is inside of you to live it up, relax, live a chill lifestyle, to have recreation, and to have work be not work, but a labor of love. Okay, so Deuteronomy 30 talks about that when we return to the Most High, everything we put our hand to, that means work, everything we put our hands to will become a huge success beyond comparison. Now remember, the blessings talk about being the leaders in commerce. Leaders in commerce. That means that everything we touch will be a huge success. Okay, so that's innovation, right? That's all forms of commerce and contracts. So you that's the reason to do it. Right? The Most High says, return to Him with all sincerity. That's not talking about some feeling and emotion. The contracts never talks about feelings and emotions. The contract talks about performance and hereditaments. Period. That's law, y'all. That's law. If you want to receive the properties, the benefits of the properties in this trust, your estate, you need to do ABC. This is the terms of the contract. You need to live in harmony with the Most High's commandments. That's what y'all call in religion the 10 Commandments. Everybody see that? So that's what you're supposed to want. You're supposed to sincerely want the tangible wealth and property held inside of the trust. You're supposed to want your estate. That's the glory of it. You're not supposed to want some relationship. No. You show me that. And you can confirm it with just thinking about what your desires are. All right? So we are supposed to want each and every one of the hereditaments listed in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. That should be our motivation, to sincerely desire those things. Period. Period. There's nothing wrong, y'all, with wanting to live luxuriously. That is your birthright. That's your birthright. That doesn't mean you should go out and do dishonorable things to get it. No. See, that's the Hermetic law of cause and effect. You return to the Most High, you become harmonic with nature, you become the Christ at all times and in all costs, honorable. That's your cause. The effect is the reception as a man or woman individually. And once we get to that 99th monkey principle climax, then the whole nation lives luxuriously. The whole nation is in, when I say nation, I mean all the bloodlines, the empire. We're in the covenant of grace. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1 through 14, which is in fact the harvest. The seasonal harvest, the climactic point of every year. That period of time when Mother Earth gives forth her bounty. Mother Earth, Creator. Okay, just like your mother, my mother, gave birth to you and I, Mother Earth, the land, gives birth to the next generation of ripe fruits and grains, etc. The harvest. And y'all take note that animals mature at all times. Every month of the year, there are animals maturing. Make the distinction, if you can see it. So everything, does everyone, scholars, do you see how this comes from nature? Nature itself. The harvest. The covenant of grace. But most Moors are in the covenant of labor. That's the spring equinox. The harvest, or the covenant of grace, is the fall or autumn equinox. Everything is given to you. Just given to you. You plant one tomato seed, you don't get one tomato. You get hundreds of tomatoes in the harvest. Geometrical growth. Geometrical growth. That's your birthright. You don't get one and then you get 10 in return. You don't plant one and you get 10 in return. You don't plant one and you get 20 in return. You plant one and you get geometrically more. 100, 200, 1,000 from one tree. Tens of thousands. But not only that, each of those tomatoes, they have seeds. So now you got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of seeds. And the tomato's not going to die after one season, right? That's geometrical growth. That's a huge bounty. And you repeat that over and over. This is the concept of what? Concept of interest. Compounding interest. Y'all see the wealth? The wealth that you're entitled to by birth? They took this concept of compound interest from nature. From nature's yield, its harvest. Not just the fruit or the vegetable or the seed, the grain, but those seeds that you collect from each of those. And as I said before in other videos, the Catholic Church comes in and sees this. All right, Rome. Now y'all remember, the hybrids didn't create anything. They co-opted. Rome dropped the E, R-O-M-E. Drop the E, R-O-M. Still Rome. Reverse it. Antigram, reverse it. You get M-O-R. You can double the vowel. Throw an O in there, you get M-O-O-R. You can put the E back. You get M-O-R-E. You can change the vowel. You can put a U, you get more. You can double the U, you get more. I think that's in French. So what is this telling us? What is this suggesting? That the Romans are actually the dark priesthood. They are Moors. They are Moors who went from what? Positive pole, negative pole. M-O-O-R, Rome. More, Rome. Positive pole, negative pole. Positive pole, negative pole. Antigram. More spelled backward. So they went totally against nature and natural law. Completely opposite. They are the opposer of natural law. Everybody see the point. This is Rome. This is Roman Catholic Christian law. This is the dark priesthood, the brothers of Saturn. The brotherhood of Saturn. Everybody see that? Learn about the characteristics of the planet Saturn. Moors in honor. Moors who are the Christ, who are honorable. Moors who are following the Most High's instructions, living according to their ancient foremothers and forefathers' principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Love, hate. Love is at the positive pole, hate is at the negative pole. Truth is at the positive pole, falsehood is at the negative pole. Freedom is at the positive pole, bondage is at the negative pole. Justice is at the positive pole, injustice is at the negative pole. Peace at the positive pole, war at the negative pole. All right? So these Romans are renegade, or at least in the beginning were renegade Moors, the dark priesthood, the brotherhood of Saturn. Everybody see it? How do we know? All I used to make those associations is linguistics and knowledge of nature. Knowledge of the Zodiac and the Hermetic laws. Okay? And knowledge of the book of the law. And then this whole thing opens up like a flower. You begin to see things. Okay? I done went way, way off topic. I don't even know what to title this video now. I didn't realize so much time has gone by. Somebody put in the comment section, what should I title this video? Because I didn't talk about anything that I planned on talking about. Let me go back to where we started. One moment. Let me let this sound go. All right, so y'all do me a favor, put in the comment section what I should title this video. Let me let this stop. So anyway, going back to the masculine mental gender energy. So we have to develop it. This has to do with nationality. So we have to know our nationality. Nationality is important because that's how you know which jurisdiction you're supposed to speak. So if you're a Genesis chapter 2:7 autochthonous Moor, in our case Moorish Americans, you need to speak the jurisdiction of nature. By extension, that would be what? Common law. Which is memorialized in the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and the other founding documents and the treaty and our treaty. You'll see all of these principles. All right, so I kind of forgot where I was at, but we're only 1 hour and 20 minutes in, so I'm gonna keep going. So nobody offered any suggestions in the comment section on what I should name the video. Boy. Y'all know there is a law of compensation. Y'all know the law of compensation is? That's this law. I don't know why I'm not remembering what that law is. Laws of compensation means that you get what you got coming. That happens in a negative way and a positive way. Okay, that happens in a negative way or a positive way. And I'm just putting it out there. See, there is nothing free. As they say in Asia, no more free. Get out, no more free. No more free. So compensation, when you get something, for example, here in Asia, when you go to someone's house, you already know they're going to give you water, some fruit, some food, etc. So when you go visit someone, you need to bring a gift, not just out of respect, but it's a form of compensation, right? So they're going to show you hospitality. So you need to bring something, even if all you have is a thank you, you need to give that thank you. Right? Law of compensation. That's why when you do things for other people, you'll be compensated. It might not be through that person who doesn't acknowledge the law of compensation. It might not be they who compensate you, and you might not be compensated immediately, but you will be compensated. That's a law of compensation. And when you should compensate someone and you don't, well, the books get balanced. This is a lesser law. This is the law of compensation. All right. Oh, I remember the point. I forgot. So I was talking about what? Give me 1 second. I need to think. I want to recall the name of that law. I can't believe I can't remember the name of the law. Mentalism, correspondence, polarity, rhythm. The law of rhythm. The law of rhythm. Okay? The law of rhythm is taking place at the subconscious level. All right? Now, I was talking about the law of, it's a lesser law. Let's call it a technique. You can neutralize the law of rhythm. You can't overcome it, but you can neutralize it, or you can what? neutralize it, or postpone its effects, or avoid its effects, right? Depending on what you're doing. So if you are polarized, rhythmically polarized in the Christ here, you're rhythmically polarized here, remember, the laws, they're never stopped. They're immutable. They're always taking place. But remember, the law of rhythm is taking place at the subconscious level of mind. Okay? So as that pendulum is swinging back and forth, you can avoid the negative things that are occurring around you due to the law of rhythm. Why? Because you've neutralized it by being the Christ. Those things are happening below at the subconscious level. Y'all see it? But because of your powerful masculine energy and your willpower and cosmic habit force, which is the circumcision of your heart. So you're acting in the higher self by habit. In other words, the Most High has circumcised your heart, where you don't even have to think about love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honoring your ancient foremothers and forefathers. You don't have to think about it because it's already in your mind and deepest motivation. It's already governing you. So in that way, you neutralize the law of rhythm. You've neutralized it. It's happening at the subconscious level, affecting everybody around you. But because of that powerful masculine energy, because of your willpower, you've been able to activate cosmic habit force. You've been able to harmonize with nature. And then Deuteronomy 30 kicks in. This is an equivalent statement. The Most High circumcises your heart to follow His law. So now the law of cause and effect kicks in. The cause, what's the cause, y'all? We're talking about the masculine mental energy. The cause is you learning your nationality. You learning who you are. See, this is why Noble Drew Ali, the prophet Noble Drew Ali, said, I'm going to paraphrase it. He says, after you finish learning about yourself, learn more about yourself. That's why. So you learn your nationality. Nationality means what? Family. Or not family, kinfolk. Nationality is kinfolk, and by extension, right? Because we all come from the previous generation. So you put all of that together, you get nation. The nation, if you're sprung from the soil, each of the families, each of the houses, let me say that, each of the houses were given a land grant. These are autochthonous Moors. Okay? And a law language. They interact with each other according to what? Treaties. Y'all see it? Which would involve customs, and traditions. Common law. So when you're over here, you can do ABC. When you're over there, you cannot do ABC. You need to do X, Y, Z. Everybody see that? So when you learn your jurisdiction, the governing jurisdiction is natural law for everybody. There's not one person, there's not one man or woman who can go out and jump off of a 200-foot or even a 50-foot mountain and expect to go up. You're going to go down. And most likely you won't survive. If you do survive, most likely you're going to have massive injuries. All right? No man or woman can stop that law from being enforced. It will be enforced. It's immutable. So all of the families, all of the houses rather, all of the houses must follow natural law. Y'all see the point? So this is your masculine energy. Nationality. The house that you come from. Your kinfolk, your bloodline. The dominion. Everybody see the relationship? And then your will, your motivation. What should the motivation be? Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14. Your hereditament. Getting your hereditament back. That's all. Being comfortable with who you are. Okay? I am me. I exist. And I want and I enjoy luxury. Luxury is for me. Okay, so now I accept that. I'm no longer religious. I'm no longer a Christian, and I feel bad about that. Wanting and having a comfortable, a luxurious lifestyle. Wanting more. Because I'm honorable. And just because I want and I have more doesn't mean I'm going to treat you dishonorably. No, it means that I have more to do more for you. I have more to do more for you. Because the more I have, the more I start to see, and the more I see how much better it is to give. Y'all see that? Hence, it's better to give than to receive. Why? Because you have a superabundance, and you're in honor, and you're a well-developed character. See, you've experienced all of the good. And now you've got to such a high level of development where you want to use your power and your resources and your influence to give to other people, because that gives you pleasure now. Y'all see that? All of this is very healthy. It's all aligned with nature. So those were the 2 points I wanted to remind scholars, remind you of. The technique or lesser law of transmutation, and the lesser law of neutralization. How to neutralize. Any principle can be neutralized. The essence of all of this is what? All is mind. The law of mentalism. All is mind. If all is mind, then that means that all can be transmuted or changed through the mind. Hence you have Christ performing miracles. Healing miracles. Okay, so this is the mind science that I was referring to. This is where Reiki comes in, or vibrational healing, remote healing. See, all of this stuff comes in. Because everything around us, y'all, is a product of the mind. Without the mind, you would not be able to experience anything or even perceive anything. So my message right now is to exit religion, escape for your life. Return to the Most High. Okay? Nationality really is Nationality really is the order of the day. And that's applicable for any time. And y'all know time is a mental construct. Nationality, remember, that's your masculine I am, I be, I exist. That's the Father, that's who you are. That unchanging witness for or against you. The silent observer. That science has proven does not exist within your fleshly body. The thinker of the thought is not here. The brain is not the mind. The brain simply performs a function at the order of the masculine energy. What is the masculine energy? It is consciousness. What is consciousness? It is awareness. I am, I be, I exist. It is intelligence. It has no beginning and it has no end. It's the Alpha and Omega. I'm going to repeat that. Consciousness, awareness, intelligence has no beginning and it has no end. Well, why is that? Well, it's the same reason you can never get something from nothing. It's an impossibility. Unless you've been indoctrinated into the science, the religion science, and of course religion itself, right? But this notion of a Big Bang, and that's how the universe began before there was nothing but empty space. Well, space is something to begin with, right? But what was in the space? They say nothing. So where did the intelligence, where did the laws, the principles that govern that explosion, where did they come from? So unless you can explain that, which there is no explanation because it's impossible. See, there needs to be governing laws and principles before there are elements that could cause an explosion. So where did that intelligence come from if it didn't exist? Who created it? Well, there is no creator because it always was. And it always is. Time is a mental construct. So we've really been miseducated. But I'm going off on a different tangent. But y'all see the point I'm trying to make. We are, in fact, eternal. Consciousness is eternal. Consciousness is energy. Consciousness, energy, awareness, intelligence. Y'all see that? Does not change. So that's what we need to build. That's why nationality is so important. Your house, your bloodline. All right? Once you get that, now you're in business. All right? Now you are in business. But that's just the start. That's just the start. Anyway, y'all, thanks for spending the time with me. I appreciate you guys, scholars, being here. And I'll be back within 12 to 24 hours. And we'll do it again. This time I had no intention on going off on a tangent the whole video, man. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm going to name this video. Because it's not it's not Capricorn. Oh boy. But anyway, it's very disappointing that no one cooperated with me by putting something in the comments section about a name of for the video. You know, it's very unfortunate. You know, when you scholars, when you travel, you get to see not just people from other cultures, but you get to see how they interact with each other. And the way people interact with each other here in Asia, and I can also say in the European countries that I've been to, is completely opposite than the way we operate with each other in North America. And that's not to say that it's something intrinsically wrong with you, but it's the indoctrination, it's the poor character that you've been taught and indoctrinated through your religion and through the toxic culture that you live in. People don't cooperate with each other. But here in Asia, and I experienced this in Europe, they cooperate. They cooperate. Now, that's because they haven't been totally destroyed. But it's such a big difference, and you know, it's enough to make you feel bad. You see other people groups, how they cooperate, and it makes it so much easier for them. FBI writes, hello, Shalom and Islam. But it's when you watch it, they cooperate. Their lives are so much easier. And then when you look at the Moors in North America, or even all over the globe, it's pretty much the same behavior from my point of view. But I can only speak, like I haven't been to Africa. I haven't been into any of the, I haven't been to Africa. But the African people who I've met, they have the same mentality, or very similar mentality. And a lot of it is due to poverty, you know, extreme poverty, you know, and people just trying to survive, and they use that to justify it. But when you have cooperation, when people cooperate with each other, everything becomes easier. Everything becomes easier, y'all. And things happen faster. Not only do things become easier, but they become more enjoyable. And then you can begin to trust, build trust, and have confidence in each other. But when there's no cooperation, like even like here, y'all won't even cooperate by putting a potential name in the title for the video. Just a little thing, for whatever reason you have. But you sit here and you watch the video, you listen to my content, but you won't even do that. But I can see people in the country I'm in right now, man, the level of cooperation that I see the people engaging in, it makes you say, wow, this is amazing. I'm talking about people who don't even know each other, just met each other. You know, and it just makes you, makes me rather, I just admire them, the way they cooperate with each other. People who don't know each other from Adam, they cooperate. And they try to build together. They understand that. You know? They come together with their resources too. I'm not kidding, y'all. And they share. I remember I saw students helping each other. Quite often trying to help each other cheat. Ain't nothing wrong with that because they want to help each other. They're cooperating with each other. But I never experienced that when I was in school in North America. But when I started going overseas, when I was doing my MBA, I would notice, particularly the Arabs, I would notice the Arabs helping each other cheat. Also, the Asians, the people from China, let me say that. The people from China, I noticed them helping each other cheat. Because eventually I would see it, and I saw how they were doing it. They were doing it on their cell phones, and at the time I didn't realize it, because I didn't think like that. You know, I never cheated. But I realized that they were cheating on their cell phones and on their calculators. And then I started to realize, you're sitting in class and someone walks in and, who is this? I never saw this person before. And then later on I found out, because eventually they got busted, that some of the Arab students, and these are not young people, these are people in their 30s, 20s, 30s, and 40s. They would pay one of their friends who was a PhD, a professor in some university, to come in and take their exam for them. And they got busted. And then after that, the university started making people show their school ID before they came in to take an exam. But just that level of cooperation, good or bad, however you want to see it, it exists. All right? And the people are not worried about who gets more, from what I've seen. Them worrying about who, or being even concerned about you doing better than them or having more, it doesn't stop them from cooperating. But anyway, y'all, I'm done. I'll see y'all on the next video. I might come back sooner because I still have energy. I still have energy. But thanks for being here with me. Support my project, all right, to write the Book of the Law in Ancient Ibaryath and Modern English, along with the etymological meanings of the words. I hope I've demonstrated how etymology can improve your life, can free you mentally in this video and others. And also to give you the grammar rules, maybe the morphology in a step 1, step 2, step 3 fashion, but that's a lot of work. But I'm not going to do the project unless I get support. But of course, to include the natural law and the remix, all of this stuff in the document, the Book of the Law. Hopefully y'all are able to see that we've been scammed with the current translations of the Bible. We've been scammed. We've been put in a situation where our words can be used against us, to incriminate us, to make us uninheritable. All right? And that primarily has been done through religion. And to make us, or put us in a situation where we can be exterminated. At their will. In a way that minimizes their karmic debt. Or in other words, in a way that makes us more responsible than they are. All right? Why? Because we are in the punishments, in the curses. Remember, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Positive pole, the opposite pole, hate, war, dishonesty, bondage, and injustice. Remember that, according to the law of polarity? Big Stank writes, hi. Islam and Shalom. So anyway, y'all, that's the situation, but we are in the power position. Y'all remember that. We are, in fact, the creators, the supreme powers, the heirs apparent, okay? The beneficiaries of all commerce, all contracts, all energies, terrestrial, aquatic, and cosmic. Okay? So we are in the power position. We just need to return to nature, which involves learning nature, which is what I'm teaching. I'm not the only one, I'm sure. Okay? But we need to learn the jurisdiction and become harmonic with nature. So let's make a commitment to returning to the Most High and abandoning religion in our speech and in our mind. All right? Islam, I, self, law, and master. And that is the fact. That is the fact. And my behavior and my speech provides the evidence of that jurisdiction. Islam and Shalom.